I grew up as a member of two different families. My parents divorced when I was 1, and from then on, that's all I've known. That shortly became 3 families, though, when I came to McQuaid as a tiny underclassman, not knowing anyone, scared out of my mind in Mr. Rosedale's homeroom in 2012. That was only the beginning. It would soon become long soccer games, memories on retreats, and most importantly, a brotherhood that I will never forget. I've always been involved with sports, specifically the great sport of soccer. When I was coming to McQuaid, to be honest, I really didn't think too much of a team, a unified unit. I just thought of it as, I want to go out there and win and be the best. But that all changed this year. During my tenure on the team, I started to realize that a team is much more than players. It is where players come together with personal goals, in a culture, in a unified sense, where we work and strive to one goal. This became even more apparent this year during my senior year season. We were named number 2 in the nation by USA Today, won the Catholic Cup, and won the Section 5 Class A AA crown last night for the first time since 2009. Winning the Section 5 title game meant more to me than any other game in my life. Yes, it was nice to win the trophy that we refer to as the brick, and it's nice to wear a shirt that says champion on it. But more importantly, it was nice to win it for our school and for one another. This single event signifies to me what it means to be a part of a brotherhood. But before all of this, over the summer, I spent a week and a half on the Navajo Reservation in Arizona with 9 of my fellow classmates. Going to an unknown land with no idea in the world what to expect, it really made my stomach churn. But that soon changed, and it became a home for me in those following days. I have never been a part of something so amazing. My eyes were opened up to a world that was just riddled with poverty. I constantly thought to myself, how could someone even live in this kind of condition? How could anyone let any man, woman, or child live under a roof that was merely the size of my bedroom back home? Yet, through all the adversity, nearly every person I met had a smile on their face and a glimpse of hope in their eyes. To them, richness in materials meant nothing. To be honest, richness in spirit, compassion, empathy for those around you is what mattered there. This ideal assisted me in learning a new perspective of life, a perspective that showed me that the value of materials didn't last long, just like the happiness they brought, but rather the value of being rich in spirit lasted a lifetime and could be shared with other people. McQuaid is a place that also values this richness and spirit that extends to all people. Although we are a brotherhood within these confined walls of this very wonderful school, all those that walk this earth are a part of our human family, and McQuaid is a place that emphasizes this very point. Many assume McQuaid's academic excellence differentiates it from all the other schools in the area. But the biggest difference is the sense of brotherhood that each person, student, teacher, family shares between one another. This was seen 2 years ago today when my fellow brother, Michael Murphy's dad, died after a long battle with brain cancer. The school held a prayer service during Flex, a time most students usually spend on homework, for Mike and his family. As one of his closest friends, from starting at Irondequoit to coming to McQuaid together, I knew I had to be there for him. But I was not the only one that prioritized this. Every student in the senior class showed up to support Mike and his family. They may not have known him personally, but they knew that they had to help him. They knew that a night had fallen during battle of life, but at the end of the day, we got to be there to pick each other back up. Brotherhood is not something that can be taught or explained, but rather demonstrated through acts of love, understanding, compassion, and commitment. As a young man who has spent 6 years at McQuaid Jesuit, I have the privilege to say that I have experienced this brotherhood hands-on, and I would never give it up or any of my 6 years here, ever in my life. Because I will always be a McQuaid Jesuit Knight, and I will always be a part of this special family. Thank you. God bless. Go Knights.